Hello, mathematicians. Okay, today we are working on our next lesson in circles. Today we are going to be working on central angles and arc measures. So remember when you were doing the vocabulary, a central angle is an angle that actually starts at the center of the circle. So notice that B is the center and our central angle has B as the vertex. Arc measures are the measurement of the arc on the outside here. So we're going to be looking at two things. We're going to look at the measures of our angles, and we're also going to look at the measures of our arc. Okay, let's get some vocab going. A central angle is an angle with its vertex at the center of the circle, B, and its two sides are radii. Radii is plural for radius. So notice we have one radius here. We have one radius here, so that is actually together they are called radii. Okay, for example, we have angle ABC. Notice that B is in the middle. That is because B is the vertex. It's at the middle of our angle. It is the central angle in circle B to the left. The sum of all central angles in a circle is 360 degrees. So if I actually take this measurement of 84 and I actually find the measurement of this side, because remember this is a minor arc, this is a major arc, if I added all of these together they would equal 360. So it's important to know that for future problems. Okay, the measure of the arc formed by the endpoints of a central angle is equal to the degree of the central angle. So what that's saying is this measurement out here, how the degrees of arc AC is the same as the central angle B here. So since angle ABC is 84 degrees, then the measure of our arc is also 84 degrees. And arc ADC, so remember ADC is the major arc, so A to D to C, is going to be basically everything else. So how do I figure that out? Well, in order to figure out the major arc, I'm just going to take 360 degrees and subtract the minor arc of 84. And so now I'm going to take my 360 minus my 84, and that is 276 degrees. So in our picture here, this is 84 degrees, and then this arc out here is going to be 276 degrees. Because remember, together they equal 360. Okay, now let's go ahead and do a few practice problems here. So let's go ahead and start. In number 1, they want us to find each angle and the arc measurements. So notice right here I have arc, the measure, that M means measure of arc ST. So I'm going to actually highlight that so I can see it. So that is arc ST. Now up here in our instructions it did tell us that if I know my central angle is 122 degrees, then my arc is also 122 degrees. So the measure of arc ST is 122 degrees. Now they want to know the arc measurement of RS. So notice that RS is this other little piece right here. And I have actually, and I'm going to I have a half circle. And I already know that half circles are 180 degrees. So if I want to find this measurement right here, then I'm going to take 180 and minus 122, right? Because it is 180 for a half circle, and since this is already 122, then this is just the little leftover part. So I'm going to do my 180 and minus 122. So now I know that it is equal to 58 degrees. So the measure of arc RS is 58 degrees. Okay, so that actually leaves one more to find out. We need to find out the measure of arc SRT. So let's go ahead and take a look here. We've got SR all the way around to the T. So I do know that this little piece right here also is 180 degrees, right? So if I already know that this is 58 and this is 180, I just have to add those together. So 180 plus 58. And what that tells me is that's going to be 238 degrees. So I'm going to have the measure of SRT to be 238 degrees. Okay, let's go ahead and figure out number 2. We will begin number 2. Let's go ahead and see what they've given us. They've given us JK, or JNK is 21 degrees. Well, with that, I'm actually going to already know that this is also 21 degrees, right? Since the angle is 21 degrees, the arc measure is also 21 degrees. Now, what I also remember, now this is part of the other math that we've been doing in 2B. Remember that these are vertical angles. If this is 21 degrees, then this one is also 21 degrees. So I know that that is 21 degrees. Now, before I even start coming over here to these problems, I'm just going to start figuring out all of my measurements, right? So it sometimes helps to draw bigger lines so you can see them. So notice I have a straight line here, and straight lines are 180 degrees. So if I needed to know KL, I know that ML plus LK is 180. So if I need to find out this piece right here, I'm going to take 180 degrees, because that's all of this, but I'm going to subtract the 21 degrees. And 180 minus 21 equals 159. So I know that this out here is 159 degrees. And because this angle is vertical to this angle, this is also 159 degrees. So let's go ahead and see what we have here and which ones we can use over here. So the measure of JK is 21 degrees. We have that one. JNM. Okay, JNM. Well, that is this measurement right here. If this measurement is equal to this measurement, then I know that angle JNM is also going to be 159 degrees. If I look at the measure of arc KL, remember KL was this 180 minus this little 21. Remember, it's 180 from here to here, but I don't want that piece. So I just subtracted the 80 or the 21 and I got 159 degrees. Now the measurement of JKM. Okay, let's see. JKM. Okay, so that one I don't know. So that's one I'm going to have to look at. And I'm going to get a different color here. They wanted J to K and then K all the way to M. So let's look at what we have here. We have all the way to K and then all the way around to L. All they don't want is that little piece, and I know that little piece is 21 degrees. And I know that all of the circle is 360, but they don't want the 21. So I'm going to take that 360, because that's the whole circle, and I'm going to minus the little part they don't want. They don't want that little part. So 21 degrees. So now I'm going to take and clear 360 minus 21, and that's 339 degrees. so 339 degrees. Now, what I'm going to actually do, I'm going to let you work on numbers 3 and 4, and I am going to skip over here to, let's do numbers 6 and 7, because they start to have some equations in there. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do what I normally do. You go ahead and do 3, 4, and 5, then come back and watch a second video.